All right, welcome everyone. We're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we're here for
Chihayafuru, Season 1, Episode 17. Okay. They got through the tournament, and now redoubling their efforts.
Yep.
Practice, training, running, build up that stamina.
Right.
Because next time, well, okay, I don't know if they'll take the whole thing next time, but, you know, they're going to do a lot better next time.
They're going to do better. And
Yeah.
and Taichi, it doesn't matter. It still won't be as good as what Arata's going to bring. Because
Nope.
he's back. He's
Exactly.
signed up and everything.
Yep.
And so he's coming back to this world of Karuta. So
Nothing you do will ever be enough, but, you know, that's nothing new.
fight on, struggler.
That's right.
Yes, and why you're seeing this episode right now and not the previous one is because the previous one is a fun recap episode with a bunch of little mini skits, vignettes in it, but not actually any advancing of the story.
Right. The mini little skits and bits, they were a lot of fun, but it was still a recap episode.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But yeah, y'all, without further ado, let's get into this.
Oh, all right. Athletics Festival.
Go Taichi!
Damn.
Hell yeah. Oh, it's
Good
Chihaya.
job.
Oh, nice. Let's go.
Nice, and they're passing it card to card.
Dang.
I mean, she was originally on the track team.
Ah, no!
All right, so is it Destomu or Nishida that's next? All right.
Oh, no.
Oh,
He's
no.
too short. Oh!
All right.
Let's go! Let's go!
Yeah. No.
Oh, we got him now.
Ah. Go, go, go.
Yeah!
They actually did it.
Let's go, Nishida!
All right.
Then Nishida wakes up. He's like,
Yeah,
"Oh,
exactly.
Come on, we were discussing who the anchor is gonna be. Oh,
Yeah, right.
yeah.
Yeah, it makes
It
sense.
should be
for
Taichi,
It should be
you know?
Taichi, yeah. Because Chihaya, you can always count on Taichi. No,
Right.
no. The actual joke is that even in the race, Taichi was second.
Yeah. Honestly, for a race that's that short, it doesn't really matter what. I don't think it matters which order you put them in as
sure.
much. It more matters when you're doing like the long distance thing, because there's certain mentalities with regards to stamina when you don't see people around you.
Right.
Yeah. What are you doing?
あんなに頑張ったのに
Oh, no recruits.
見学に来てくれた子いたじゃないですか試合見て無理って帰っちゃいましたけど
Yeah.
でも1位って言っても棚ぼただったし全然遅かったしな
何
It's okay. You're a short king.
Yeah.
テイ君夏の走り込みのおかげですね
Yeah, we were up against athletic, actual, like,
Right. People who practice
people in
this stuff.
athletic clubs.
いい大会は9月下旬の埼玉大会と10月上旬の
Oh, we've got
All right.
plenty of tournaments to choose from. But it's how far are we willing to travel?
Class A and above players?
東日本予選来年1月のクイーンへの挑戦権を
Gotcha.
とりあえず千早は試合経験を積んで実力アップどこかの大会で B 級優勝して A 級昇格を目指す D 級で優勝して段位獲得を目指してくれじゃあ各自目標に向かってあちょっとごめん
It's Arata.
That are his parents.
Yeah, it's mom then. His tone.
Oh. Oh, no. Oh.
じゃあ各自目標に向かって頑張ってこう
わしっぷり別れ話をそんなすぐ彼女がいたんですか
That is amazing.
Wow.
ター君って呼んでたあの子だ
Wow.
Okay.
あなたは西日本予選に出るんだろうか
If he isn't, then maybe I have a chance.
今は
間に合わせたい
Yeah, that's the
Renewed
card. Taichi will
determination.
definitely always win.
A 級になって東日本予選に出たい
Okay.
Okay.
10分休憩挟んで今日はもう1試合して上がろう夏休みの練習はきつかったけど楽しかった
一人ぼっちで勉強ばかりしていた去年に比べたら
Sure. Right, you're building a little like a little family here.
つもりなのに筋肉もつきにくくて。
時間があったら腹筋背筋するといいよ。
Ooh, sure.
全国大会でいろんな試合見てて気がついたんだけど、女の子とか細い男の子とか構えた時腰が下がるんだよね。そういう
Okay.
人は上半身だけでカルタしてるっていうか、
Whoa.
が足りないんだと思うから。家でもやってはいるんですけど、他が見られなくて。大丈夫。気長にやっていけば。
Yeah, making sure that you have proper form would be huge because that'd be just that extra little bit of distance that you're shaving off.
何ですか？
I want to practice that too. Yeah.
いや、素振り頑張るな。
遠くの札は千早ちゃんたちにはかなわないけど、巻き込むようにすると私にも取れます。
Oh, that's a good point because
まっ
reach
すぐの
too.
ラインを取
Yeah.
って相手のミスを拾う。運動が向いてなくても。体育祭の後、タブは運動部みたいって言われましたけど、
Whoa.
私にとっては文化部です。
Yeah.
All right.
You're gonna have to
体
shift
一
that
つで男女
perspective.
一緒に戦えるのは文化だからです、つくえくん。
You've got a rival.
やっぱ無理。
カルタなんて意味わかんない。カルタなんてって言って
Yeah.
過ぎないでよかった。
な、この練習意味あんのか？
わかんないけどやる。
People are like,
クイーン
what?
に対抗できる感じを鍛えられるとしたら、反射的なその
遅い。
歌に対してまっすぐか。どうしたらしのぶちゃんみたいに。
今度の週末、金沢の大会に出ようと思う。
Would you like to go with me? Yeah.
Hmm.
埼玉じゃなくて？
埼玉は来週。前に金沢で A 級 B 級の大会があるから。
行く行く。金沢ってすごく遠い。旅費は？
夜行バスなら片道8000円。あと参加費で計2万弱。他のみんなも無理だろうし、一人で行くよ。
ずるい、大地ずるい。
お土産買ってきてやるから。
いいな、金沢か。福井。近いね。
Literally, yeah, the strings. Oh God! And then she leans on you. Goes to hold her hand and she says, "Arata." Oh my God. Hey,
Yes.
nice.
見ちゃダメ。
すげえ。
Mom, I'm scared.
Yeah.
出し抜いてでも人より早くカルタが強くなりたいって思ったり、
I mean, you have the money.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
二人でどっか行きたいって思ったり。
何？
俺
I'm enjoying being in this club with you.
A 級になるから。
Ah,
Hell
yes.
yeah. Meanwhile, Arata.
よろしく。
Oh, no, no. Okay, okay. Huh?
Hey!
何してんだよ。
Yeah, what are you doing here?
こそ来るなんて一言も。ずるいやつがもう一人。
Uh-huh, uh-huh.
だよ。俺は誘われたから前乗りで。前乗り？ざけんな。マシマどうやって？飛行機。こんなブルチョアめ。それで先に A 級。
And he's there too.
今は試合に集中だ。
Oh, damn. Now they might have to face each other.
Yeah.
勝つ。絶対に勝つ。早い。
Everyone here is going hard.
Nice. That was a fun transition.
Yeah.
千早ちゃん伸びてますね。クイーンと戦えたのがいい刺激になってめちゃくちゃ速くなってる。夢に見るあの速さ、あの鋭さに追いつきたい。
I love the queen's look. She seems like she came straight from Fruits Basket in terms of like
Yeah.
in terms of like her
She really
aura,
does.
her energy.
減らないな。千葉に意識が残りすぎ。ひろしさんに最後やられちゃうな。
千早ちゃんはいくら早くても怖くないよ。
Ooh.
千早ちゃん、早く取るのをやめなさい。
Ooh. Ooh. Oh, wait.
Ooh.
Okay.
We're gonna
Yeah,
have
let's
to
get
chew
into
on
this.
that. What does that mean? That's not a college.
提出は今週の木曜です。真剣に考えること。かなちゃんは古典やれるとこで決まりだよね。
大学はまだ迷ってるんです。千早ちゃんも進路調査のせいであんな状態なんですか？
I want
She
to
got
major
called
in
out.
Karuta.
あ
Yeah,
っちの二人は
they both lost.
永久昇格マジ甘くねえ丸まってねえでやるぞ
I want to play her.
やるぞ
I don't wanna.
早く取るのをやめなさい。
何言ってるんですか先生？早く取れないと勝てないじゃないですか。
クイーンのカルタ
あ
はどんな感じ
超速い。正確。札のどこに触れるのかまで決めて、あの速さに憧れない選手なんていない。
早くなくてもいいんだよ。千早ちゃんの得意札は何枚ある？
Oh.
ものすごく早く取れる札があっても残り全部取られたら
Well.
速さへの執着を捨てなさい。
Cool. You need to be consistent.
綾瀬から速さを取ったら何が残るんだよ。
Damn.
駆け引きだって得意じゃねえのに。
感じの良さがマイナスになってるってことだろ。
But that's then a good point. What's your strategy?
新問題にぶち当たっても10秒と考えない千早が
俺も見るよ。
意味わかんない。一体何なの？
You need to round out your bases.
西田対真島と綾瀬対僕だよな。始めよう。
昨夜この花
Yeah, play against somebody that's really slow compared to you.
それだろほな速さのこと言われてんだろ
あ、
血が1枚も出てないのに。
これは体が勝手に動いちゃうっていう。
That means
I
it's
get
a
that.
bad habit.
I get that.
荒くれないに
I like that they're getting into this, though, of Chihaya, when you're playing against other people in the club that not just are worse than you because you're best in the club, but much worse than you, how are you making sure that you're growing during that match?
15枚差。よし。
C10 枚 A と D は僕と綾瀬の8、9月の対戦28試合。僕が綾瀬から取った札の割合だ。
Whoa, cool.
敵陣 A が 1%、
Oh.
敵陣 B が 67%、 C が 32%、 自陣 D が 0%。
That's cool.
That's very helpful.
A と D の札は 100%。
Yeah, and I take 2/3 of my cards from your side.
と C のエリアは僕でもかなり取れるってことだよ。一時決まりとかは手がつけられないけど、綾瀬の苦手な自陣左に三次決まりを。
Oh my gosh.
なあ俺の見せて
そう簡単に
いや
見せられません。
Nah.
千早ちゃんはお手つきも多いですよね。一か八かで突っ込んじゃう時あるでしょ。あれは苦手な人多いよ。歌の雰囲気もすごい似てるし。黙らっしゃい。
Don't give me excuses.
2倍は88番。年代にして約200年の隔たりがあります。年代？なにわ型。短き足の節の間も。
The way it's said.
すぐしてよとや。足の仮根の
Whoa.
身を尽くしてや恋渡るべき。
Like one's longing for the past and future. Like it's different.
200年の覚醒があっても歌に込められる思いは変わらないということに感動してしまうのですが、それは置いといて千早の札が真っ赤に見えるって言ってましたよね。冬枯れた足のくすんだ緑、もっと若い足の緑。
Whoa.
そう思ってみたりとか、88番の方のなにわの入り江は本当に歌が好きなんだね。
Yes.
私にとってのカルタは意味ですから。悲しかったんだ。速さは私にとってのカルタだったから。
But for whatever reason, this card, it wasn't just about speed. It was about the
Right.
memory associated with that card being taken.
The double take.
In the library?
漫画とか置いてある。
Do they keep manga in there?
綾瀬さん、あなた進路調査まだ提出できてない。
Classical poetry?
She'll do it. Eventually.
速さだけじゃダメだ。つくえくんの良さを、かなちゃんの良さを。
I like that they got into that of the like, hey, yes, Chihaya, your win percentage might be really good, with taking cards and all that stuff. But if you're actually wanting to practice to beat the queen, who is I will try and make sure you don't take any cards, you can't just be going all on one strength. Like, you have to think about the fact that, like, okay, yeah, don't make faults,
Yeah,
where position of cards and all that stuff.
Well, it's the point when you get so good at a sport that you think in terms of meta that there's one skill that's more important than all the others. And therefore you develop all your energy into focusing on that skill.
Right.
And then you become imbalanced.
Right.
So like an example of this would be like any sport that involves running. If you're the fastest player, you're going to win in those foot races.
Right.
The parts of it. But there's so much of usually all the running sports that involves something else in there.
Right.
So you got to hone those skills as well.
Cool.
Speed.
Good episode. Yeah.
Speed. It's not the entire name of the game here.
Nope. Yeah,
because when strategy.
Right. When you're going fast, you make mistakes, right? And if you can beat them on speed, it kind of, like, if you're taking the card anyways, it doesn't really matter how fast you are when you're taking it, so long as you're taking it. So then if you're rushing to be as fast as possible on the cards that you're already going to be better than them at, that doesn't really help you, and then it actually hurts you on the ones where it's more up in the air.
Right, and I liked the idea also that in a lot of ways, you getting faster on specific cards is great in general. It's a good general thing. But if your goal really is to beat the queen, you will probably not get faster than her at the rate that she's going or has gotten to. So you will, at the very least, need to adjust your approach.
Right.
At the very least.
Yeah, because even if you get to the point where you match her, you're certainly not going to gap her in speed to the point where you can ignore all the other areas that she's going to be really good at and still win. That's not going to work.
Right, and I like that this has gotten into, because to me, the sport of karate from the speed perspective is not as interesting.
Sure.
The thinking part of it, the artistic side of it is very interesting. Because you're going to learn more about people by doing this as well.
Sure.
The ways in which someone might have an innate skill or an innate ability that they've been honing for a long period of time. And you go, oh, you focused on that though, as opposed to the things that I focused on. That doesn't make either of us necessarily better or worse karate players, but we're different.
Right.
And given that we've shown now a couple times in which Chihaya is absolutely capable of losing. Like, not just against the queen, but just against people in general. There's something really impactful about the way that the guy that she was playing against before Harade, the doctor guy, gave her the advice, was he said, yeah, you're fast, but you don't scare me. And I didn't get it immediately, but I realized why Chihaya has been told by Taichi, or he's kind of commented on this, that your aggressive style does net you some wins. And I think the reason why is because she's so fast that it intimidates weaker mental players with weaker mental game.
But when their mental game is good and they just don't...
They don't get intimidated by it.
Right, they don't get swept up in your kind of, not chaos, but
maybe
energy.
An early lead as well.
Sure.
Like, let's say Chihaya makes a lot of mistakes in the early game, so she'll get a lead against people that are less technical, but it's not like a strong lead. But it's that she'll start to really take a lead in the later thing when she doesn't have to think as hard. A player that is more technically sound won't give her that much of a lead in the early game, so that when she starts to pick things up later, it's we're +1, -1 maybe in terms of cards here.
Yeah.
And the stuff that Tsutomu brought up of,
you are terrible in these quadrants.
You are terrible in these quadrants because probably just in its simplest manner, your dominant hand sweeps through these regions faster than the others.
Yeah, the ones where you can just sweep real close to you, yep, totally makes sense. Or the ones where you can like kind of lunge for it, great.
Well, I like that it was on a diagonal, so it had nothing to do with the closeness to her. It's about the idea of her natural hand sweeping motion. I think of it in a lot of ways like tennis. There are some players that are really bad on the backhand, basically, but they're great on the forehand.
Right.
And so when you service them, basically, you can intentionally get them into a rhythm where one of these is weaker at a specific angle or something.
Yep.
And in a lot of ways, actually, tennis is a great example because there's literally the 4 quadrants as well of where you're sending the ball to.
Similar thing in fencing where you have 4 quadrants that you'll generally be defending, and the way that you defend them will involve your guard position will involve a rotation of the hand. That might not seem like much, but if you're thinking about changing, like the lever changing of the orientation of your weapon, you know, okay, you use these 2 back fingers here for this position, but then when you're over here, that's completely different because those aren't going to be the things that actually determine whether the point lowers or raises, right?
Sure.
And so it's like, on the surface, it might seem like, yes, it's all the same, but it's like, no, it's actually not. And so if you get information like this, Chihaya, like that logbook that Desutomu had is huge because that doesn't just tell you what you need to work on, right, as far as like, focus on these quadrants, but also probably what kind of motions to practice, right? Because you have the motions that you're really good at.
That was one of the things that she was so confused about. It's like, wait, so there's this straight motion that's so fast.
Yeah.
And it's like, no, it's not that it's so fast. It's a combined thing of all these other parts that she's ironed in and worked on that are invisible to you because you only think about speed.
And I love the idea that her weakest quadrant was one that was actually right next to her. But it makes sense because if you're doing this, that might not feel as natural. You might not be able to be as fast, right? And so then if you're banking on speed primarily, the other person will be able to just sort of go in there and take it.
Yeah, so her fastest motion is this.
Right.
And that makes sense in a lot of ways because that's the most natural movement with regards to your shoulder and your elbow.
Yep.
And because
everything engaging in the same direction.
Everything engages in the same direction, your actual rotations that you get with all of them naturally head towards that. You hit your extension point, your maximum extension point faster by going this way, basically. You end up locking your elbow quicker. You end up you end up catching against the side of your body here. There's all these little things that make it feel less natural.
Like maybe this is pure conjecture on my part, but maybe that's something where then she needs to work on like engaging her core in order to also be like rotating her torso so that way she gets more like leeway with her arm that way. Or for the ones that are far away from her, she needs to work on her quads so that way she can actually kind of propel herself forward in order to help the arm get there in time.
Another thing that I'll bet she's probably learned a long time ago as like a basics thing, but there's a way to evolve through it, is that they were talking about in this episode how Kana and Tsutomu need to specifically like work their back and core because they're shorter, so their reach is actually harder in order to do certain like moves in that regard.
Right.
But we saw the data from Tsutomu that he actually has a side on the opposite side
that he's good at.
That he's actually really good at, which means, in my opinion, that having Chihaya focus on the initial stance based on where
the height of her opponent and the reach that they might have to then know I love that.
Because you might not see that when you're looking just down at the cards. But there's that specific bit of time where you're not being given the there's at least like 3 seconds or what have you that you're not gonna have anything to strike at.
Sure.
They're reading the preamble poem part that has nothing to do with the card.
Right.
You could be looking at your opponent and seeing the ways in which they're angled and they're potentially adjusting
in
some kind of slight micro movements.
Or just
as well.
when they're setting up their cards, what kind of extensions do they have on what kind of extension is their arm at for like some of the corner ones to be like, okay, I can guess that their reach is going to be about this much. They'll have to engage their legs in order to get the cards that are over here. Things like that.
I don't know if the anime is going to go that in depth into this, but it is fun that almost directly after the episode where I was talking about how the physical mechanics of this are not as engaging with regards to this, and we're kind of just skipping through them, running a lot and doing the just general stamina increase stuff here. we bring it back to a combined physical, mental, technical side of things with regards to strategy. And if this becomes more of a classic like board game kind of thing where it's the orientation of things on the 2D, you know, kind of platform here of like, okay, based on that, I then adjust my body accordingly. Ooh, I'm excited for that because that's a visual thing that they can show without any talking with just the ways in which the people's bodies are going to be adjusting, and we can see that with animation.
We get some EPO style, like the different muscle groups engaging as they go for the, you know, for the card or something like that.
I mean, yeah, it's the stance. It's actually just stance switching, and that's so huge in like almost every sport.
And if you want to think about how maybe the queen is able to take cards so quietly and nimbly, it's probably because that whole side of things she has down to a science.
Yeah, her body's in complete alignment with that.
Where it's just, okay, the things that I need to do, I do it.
Yeah.
You know?
Now that's a whole part of this episode, but then the other part being that, tournaments are actually quite plentiful. We saw a list of about 20 tournaments.
Right.
Now,
That's crazy.
obviously not everybody can participate, and I like that they showed that it wasn't just that it's a tournament where you have to be at a certain level. It's like, oh no, this is a tournament for like D-level players, basically. This is a tournament for A and B, or just A and, you know, anybody also like above that. And thus it's convenient that they're in Tokyo because that's the place where there's going to be the biggest
pool to choose from
of tournaments to choose from. But some of them are going to require you to actually travel the country. And that brings up something really fun here, in that, yes, if you can just pay your way to play more tournaments against more strong players, yeah, you'll get a slight advantage over the people that aren't doing that.
Yep. And I love that Nishida and Taichi, neither of them told the other that they were doing this, because they're like, no. Yeah, like, yes, we want the whole club to do well, but also I want to surprise everybody by being like, I made Class A. And they're both thinking the same thing, and they show there, and then the other dude is there too in the background.
Like, and neither of them win.
Yep.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. But yeah, Chihaya actually set foot in the library.
Right. Not just to grab somebody out of the library.
Right.
Yeah.
I love the... Wait, is there manga in here? Like, if there is, I'm going to have to get rid of it, you know? Like... That's actually like a really funny joke that I have been making to some people of like, you know, I've been going to bookstores recently, and I actually see people under the age of 20 in there now. It's because there's manga in there.
Right.
Now.
Yep.
I'm not joking.
That simple.
I'm not joking. I went into a... What are they? Is it, which one closed down, Borders or Barnes & Noble? I forget.
Maybe both.
No. One of them exists. I think it's Barnes & Noble's is still around. But basically, I went into one, and I was getting a book, and I saw like nobody like under the age of like 30, right?
Right.
And I'm like, yeah, these places are... they're going to be gone, you know, not too long probably. You know, we'll see. Books have had a resurgence recently a little bit, but I kid you not, I went into the manga section, because of course I did.
Right.
And there's like 8 to 12 young people there. They're all there. That's where they are.
Yeah.
And it's just this whole thing of where like this is an anime about a niche passion. Karuta.
Yep.
And there's something really special when, yes, you did not get any new people or recruits because of your performance at the track thing.
But good job.
Good job. But, you know, you did get these 5, Chihaya. Like, that is something that happened because of your passion. Even if your thing was niche 10 years ago or 20 years ago, like, look at where it's growing.
Oh, yeah.
Look at where it's not, staying the same.
I would love to see the way that this show had an effect on people playing Karuta in a similar way to Haikyuu with volleyball. And, of course, while it's not going to be equivalent...
No, Haikyuu is a...
Yeah.
Diamond in diamonds, you know. It's,
right. But the fact that Karuta is so niche, I'm like, well, maybe the percentages could be similar because...
I don't know, man. Like, it probably had a movement on the needle effect.
Yeah.
But it is kind of crazy to think about that, like, Haikyuu changed the country basically of Japan. It invaded the minds of a generation. It took over. So like I'm excited for this anime to hopefully get like more seasons, which is probably coping.
Right.
But it's doing a lot for me. But yeah, I'll probably never touch Karuta.
I can see myself
it's not a sport
trying it
for me.
at some point, maybe, but like.
Yeah, it's hopeless though for us. We're YouTubers. Our memory is like notoriously like. Our memory is notoriously bad.
No, see, that's what we do. We get like a Karuta tape or something, then we play each other and make a video out of it, and then people can see that we both suck. And
then we wear like massive kimonos or what have you, or yukatas, or damn it, I forget which is which.
Right, to say nothing of the fact that it's based on Japanese poetry, and we're learning Japanese. I feel like would be a bit of a hurdle to get over.
I will say though,
play the game
it
properly.
would probably be one of the fastest ways to learn specific kanji.
Oh sure,
really quickly.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like. Obviously you'd want like flip note cards for remembering them and stuff.
Yeah, you have some like English translation cards or something to get just to start learning the game or something.
Right. You start with English, but you have the Japanese like above it.
Yeah.
And then you And then you take the English away slowly but surely.
Oh man.
I'm proud of you, Chihaya. This is a big moment for you.
Keep practicing.
But yeah, that's basically the episode. We get not really any other continuing stuff here.
Oh yeah, Taichi broke up with his girlfriend.
That was hilarious. Of all the things to just happen so quickly and just so casually,
right?
To just be like, I almost didn't even like realize what was happening.
Oh, me neither. I thought this was like his mom calling it. It's like oh no, this is Taichi's family then causing drama, and this is going to be a new arc, which would be great, and then no, it's just all right, let's break up.
I loved the little comments next to all the characters of
right.
No luck with girls, no luck with guys, no luck with girls, and
no luck with guys.
No luck with guys either. Just all these forever single people. Not, because all of them
there's no opportunities.
Have no opportunities. It's just you know.
Also, like you've got your friend, right? Your platonic friend.
Right.
Who's in a relationship, breaks up with the person in front of you, clearly is not affected by it much.
No.
Oh, also spends so much of their time with you. And other people too.
It's a group dynamic.
Yeah, it's a group
nothing
dynamic.
Romantic about
it's
this.
a group dynamic now. We've made it into one. And then like later that day is like, hey, you want to go on
an overnight trip with me?
Right.
Across the country? If you had said yes and been like, but I don't have the money.
He would have been like,
probably been like,
I got you.
Yeah.
Yeah. And oh no, we maybe I can cut costs and then not fly, and instead we can take like a romantic train or something.
I mean, that's not a romantic thing. Like that's just being practical.
Yeah, right, exactly. But yeah, the fact that all that happens and Chad's just like, she's just like, yeah.
Pain. But yeah, all right, y'all. Thank you so much for watching this episode's reaction and discussion. If you want to see the next episode's reaction and discussion right now, though, go check out the link in the description below for our Patreon. You get an early access there. You can watch full-length timer reactions there, and all this comes with Discord access, so you can chat with us in the community there about this show, about anime in general. And also be sure to check out our Twitch channel. So if any of that interests you, we'll see you there. But until then, we're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we'll see you all next time.